All right, so
I have to give you a little bit of credit for this.
Yeah, we can overdub it later. Just
I haven't had any crazy stories about. Oh wait, no, I do. I got robbed at gunpoint, mugged.
Checking for me, but I ain't checking for them. No.
it's sleazy real estate guys. But all right, so another episode of the EP podcast here. I have two guests with me, one by the name of Ken Fridy. He was with us on the last episode, and then a familiar face here, Ian Chinnery, has been with us in several episodes before. We're going to be covering the Trump assassination, the Biden dropout, the Secret Service head resigning, and any other topics in between. So we'll start with Ian.
Yeah.
Tell you, because the audience hasn't really seen this side of you. So I want you to pretty much give a quick brief overview, like 60-second overview of who you are, and then followed by probably another 30, 60 seconds of, your political involvement, in your day-to-day.
Yeah.
So, but before that, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, share, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any episodes that are coming in the future. So, Ian, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you again for inviting me back on the EP podcast here. And
nice polo, by the way.
For those, there it is. Chinnery team. Love it. So for those that have seen me before, I've hosted one of Emilio's podcasts as well, where Mr. Emilio was the guest on the podcast. You've seen me here and there. My podcast came out handful of years ago now.
About 2 years ago.
Yeah, about 2 years ago now. And so if you want to go back and give that a view so you can find out who I am, what I do, how we met, how the friendship started. But basically, we met in college, and Emilio's very entrepreneurial. I'm very entrepreneurial myself, and we run our own businesses outside of what we do, on a 9-to-5 basis, and we're looking for that great life over that good life. So politically, why does it make sense to have me here? A business owner is I was recently elected, and by recently I mean February, March timeframe, recently elected to be the chair for the Newcastle County, Delaware Young Republicans. So for that county, the entire northern part of Delaware, I'm the chair for the Delaware Young Republicans. Now, does that mean I'm a Trump-loving, gun-holding, guns blazing, let's go? Yes. No, I'm more of a moderate conservative, and so there are certain things that I believe need to happen, but there are certain things that also should not be happening. I do believe in stronger state governments. I do believe that we need to arm the citizens. I do believe in gun rights. I do believe in that. So in a sense, I'm a little bit of that libertarian, moderate conservative kind of middle ground there. So okay. It'll be a fun conversation what we bring.
Okay. All right. And Ken, you're back with us after the last episode.
DJT.
That literally just dropped a couple of hours ago.
Yeah.
And it was definitely an interesting dynamic between you and Arthur. Yep. I think Arthur and yourself have different views. You guys can certainly
agree to say that.
You guys agree on some things, but probably not on most things. So definitely made for an interesting recording.
And I'll add a note to that. I mean, that's the beauty of politics when it's done correctly. Like, you agree to disagree. I feel like with so much, like, polarization and partisanship in politics today, the divide is growing and growing with each election, that it's always important that, like, more often than not, like, the left and the right and the moderate and whatnot, we do share more values than we can even think of. So it's always important to have conversations where you can also agree to disagree.
Yeah. I mean, we're gathered here on a Tuesday night at almost midnight to show you about the conversations that we're speaking of here. So thank you guys for being here at this time. This is completely last minute, but we do it for America. So this past Sunday, we got some pretty big news. Just 2 days after our last recording, we got some pretty big news. Biden officially dropped out of the race. So, to many of us, to some of us, a huge surprise. To some of us, it wasn't a matter of, is it going to happen? It was a matter of, when is it going to happen?
When is it going to happen? 100%.
So it happened. This was after Biden had announced he had COVID. And shortly after, he had also announced if his the illness got worse for him or something medically, got worse for him, he would consider dropping out. And we had some people say that there's no way he's dropping out. He's too far in it. And yet here we are. So Biden officially announced this past Sunday afternoon, and not even a full hour after he endorsed Kamala Harris as the next up. So, guys, what are our thoughts on this? Let's start with Ian.
Yeah, well, okay, you endorsed Kamala, but where's she been for the last 4 years? Okay, well, we knew you were going to drop out, dude. I'm sorry. Like, everybody knew you were going to drop out, whether you knew you were or not. Like, everybody knew you were going to drop out. Yeah. And so it was.
It's one of the comments I keep hearing. It was one of the. I'm sorry, it just came to mind. It was like because like Biden's gonna be so pissed when he finds out he's dropped
letter.
out.
Yeah. Like, if you were shocked by this letter, imagine how shocked he was.
I can't wait for Biden to wake up and see he's dropped. He's no longer running for president.
Of when no one had any clue. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it came to mind is when no one had any clue where Biden's whereabout was, and people started conspiring that he might be dead. Yeah. And one of the things was like, "Oh, don't worry, he's not lost. He joined the search team." So I'm sorry, Ian. What were you saying?
No, I was just saying that like everybody thought Gavin Newsom was going to be his ideal person, and Gavin's pretty. Okay, he's cute, but
that's as far as it goes.
That's as far as it goes. I mean, when you look at what happened to California, I've had so many friends that have left California. And they went there because that's where the fame is, that's where the money is. Very wealthy friends.
Yep.
And they left California for Texas, Utah, and Florida.
Well, I believe the majority of millionaires are still in California, no?
Just by numbers. I mean, there's millions of people in general.
Will that be the case long term? I don't think so.
I mean, Tesla's and Elon Musk has pulled all of his businesses out of California, pulled them all out of Delaware. Yeah.
He just pulled, what's it called? The headquarters to SpaceX.
Yes,
to SpaceX to Texas.
Yeah.
After we talked about this, was it after what was
the gender laws? I believe. Do not quote me on this because I don't have it right in front of me. But Gavin Newsom, he signed a law for the state of California, not a federal law, stating that if a child reports that they are going to have gender reaffirming surgery, the school does not have to report it to the parents.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's what it says. Yeah.
Yep.
Which is absolutely asinine. I'm sorry. It is not the school's responsibility to raise your kids. It is the parents' responsibilities. And if you're passing that responsibility onto the school, then you need to reevaluate why you decided to have kids.
Yeah. And literally, Jordan Peterson interview just came out with Elon Musk. And one of the things that Elon Musk said to Jordan Peterson was that he lost his son to the woke, I want to say left. Yes. Lost son to woke. Here, let's see.
Ken, you read Elon Musk's autobiography or biography, whatever. You read the book by Isaac Walterson.
Yeah,
Walter Isaacson. So didn't Elon Musk say in that book that the reason he has so many kids is because he wants to advance humanity?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wasn't that one of
the exact quotes?
Yes. He wants humanity to be better.
Yep.
Absolutely. He has I think he's up to 13, 12 or 13 now. So
what a stud.
Keep it going.
Absolute stud.
Yeah, so he said in his interview with Jordan Peterson that his son was killed by the woke mind virus.
Yeah.
And then followed by, he's going to make it his sole mission to essentially destroy that, and that they're making progress on it thus far. And Jordan Peterson responded to him saying, well, welcome to the party or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like, welcome to the group.
So Elon Musk is now the Republican George Soros?
Yep, I'll take it.
Hey.
I'll take it.
And so we were saying that, Kamala, she's been essentially what feels like MIA for the past 4 years. I mean, we haven't really heard much of her. And we looked up really quick before the recording, what were some of her responsibilities as vice president. And just theweek.com quickly summarized some of the roles that she had while she is vice president. And some of them include abortion rights, include immigration and southern border, voting rights, and those are the main threes that came up. And it was just, even without going into it too much, I mean, look at the amount of conflicts, whether you're pro-abortion or not, look at the amount of conflicts we've had with those things happening the past 4 years.
Yep.
Regardless of where you stand with immigration, we have had a big immigration problem, right? Mind you, personally, as someone that wasn't born in this country, I'm not against people coming to America, but I do think our processing system needs to improve.
Yep.
And I don't think we have an immigration problem. I think we have a processing problem, a vetting problem.
Yep.
So because look at all what's happening. All the news are headlining that all these people are getting killed by immigrants that are being allowed into this country that have an awful record, right? They get sent back to the countries don't want them back, and guess who ends up with them? We do. So it puts our families in harm's way, and it puts the future of America in harm's way.
100%. I mean, I met with Tom Homan. He was the original director of ICE under the Trump administration, and he gave an incredible talk about the changes that happened the second the Trump administration left office. And some of the things had to do with the holding cells. They said that these holding cells were horrible. It was inhumane. No, the holding cells were, you had a toilet, you had a sink, you had a bed, you had fresh light. Like it was a half decent room. It was similar like a prison cell, right? So was it amazing? No, but it cost the U.S. government $111 or $112 a night, whether or not the bed were full or not. And so what the Biden administration did was, hey, we need to make it better. So that's why they started shipping them off to these hotels everywhere, because they wanted to make it better. Hey, look at how incredible you are. Look at how great this is. But the issue was when you're in that holding cell and you're held for however long it takes for you to be processed, and then you go to the court and you get to the judge and he says, yes, you can come in because you're a asylum seeker. Yes, you can come in. No, you cannot. You have to leave. That was on the honor system. Hey, go to this hotel for 6 weeks. We'll mail you a court date. Come on back. They said in his speech, he said less than 7% of people came back to the court hearings. When they were held in the holding cells, it was 98% made it to the court hearings.
Okay, so because they were
held by ICE. Yeah, they were held. Yeah, and then now you're saying, oh, we're not going to hold you in this prison, if you want to call it a prison, whatever. You're not held in these holding cells anymore where you're going to be escorted to the court. No, you can go to this hotel. Here's a Visa gift card. Here's a work permit real quick so you can get your ground running. Let's get the ball rolling, which is awesome for immigration. We need people in this country, but we need people to come in correctly and legally. I mean, you came to this country.
Yeah. My
parents came to this country. I'm a first-generation American. My parents were on green cards and resident alien cards for 33 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they did it right. They paid the money. They worked hard. They did the time, and now they are U.S. citizens now, and they are very passionate about immigration because of what they went through, and they agree it's a totally broken system.
Yeah, and I think that it's what partially what makes you to be proud of being an American is the challenges you have to overcome and the journey of coming here and then becoming someone, right?
Yeah, it's what that flag represents.
There you go. Ken, what are your thoughts on the whole immigration thing with Kamala? How do you think she's done in the past 4 years?
Well, I mean, pretty shit, I would say. I mean, like, the cut it short, I mean, I feel like, as vice president does not have that many responsibilities. You basically are just, like, making sure, God forbid if anything happens, to the sitting president, you're right there to go right in. And it doesn't necessarily need to be death or implementing the 25th Amendment. But, just that, like, just basically being there, as well as, if the Senate is at a tie 50-50, you're the deciding vote. So in addition to that, like, when you're given, like, tasks, like, in her case with abortion rights, Roe v. Wade getting overturned, great job. And then, well, not great job for her because she's obviously on the other side of that. But I'm saying, great job in a sarcastic sense. Anyway, immigration, absolutely bombed that. They stuck to the plan that they made during the campaign, and it blew up right in their face. And then they had to go back to the drawing board and create, the most secure border legislation that Congress voted on and whatnot. But it never would have had gotten to that point had they stick to the previous administration's immigration plan.
Ian, did you have anything on that?
No, 100%. If you look at the graph that if anybody watched the RNC and we're seeing the Trump speech, if you look at that graph that Trump had, immigration was at its lowest it's been ever. with the way that they had the border funding. Now, what's interesting is I've got friends that work in the Border Patrol as well, and they used to be on the Canadian border. And they were pulled from the Canadian border, crazy Canucks up there, pulled from the Canadian border. They were pulled down to the southern border because what's happening is funding is cut so low and morale is so low. Again, flashback to the Tom Homan speech I heard. He said that on a daily basis, they're finding more than 10 dead bodies trying to cross the Rio Grande, anywhere down to the southern border. And so Tom Homan went down there to the original sheriff down in, I want to say El Paso, I'm probably wrong. He went down there to one of the sheriffs to meet with one of the original ICE sheriffs down there.
Yeah.
And he was there on their 2-hour walk, they found 4 dead bodies.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, huge immigration problem. And at the end of the day, you start looking at what these things, why they're happening, and you can't help but look at the leadership. Because when a nation falls, it's typically because of the leadership. So that's currently what we're. I think of Kamala as vice president, and I think something else that I heard. Look, I'm about merit and being capable. If you're capable for the job, I don't care whether you're a female, a male, gay, or straight. I don't care. As long as you are qualified and able and willing to do the job, right? I don't feel like I've really seen that from Kamala. And I don't know. There's a lot of videos I've been seeing around her where she's been saying a lot of goofy things recently, like the coconut video, like what you think, the you buses. Fall out of a coconut, the buses. Like I just don't get it, and it's almost like you don't have to say anything about those two. It's like they almost like make fun of themselves in a way. So
well, the Europe thing as well that just came out with NBC News. They were like, "Have you ever been to the border?" And she's like, "Well, yes, I've been to the border." And they're like, "No, you've actually never been to the border." And she was like, "Well, I've never been to Europe either. So what's your point?" And it's like,
my God. Well, I'm sorry, you're the fucking vice president. What do you mean you never been to Europe?
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. DEI hire.
Man, yikes.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. But there's
that point of the DEI hire.
No merit.
Merit, yeah. So I heard somewhere, and I forget where exactly today, that they're trying to double down on the whole DEI thing, and then not only have Kamala run, but also try to encourage another lady to be vice president.
Gretchen Whitmer.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, governor of Michigan.
Yeah. So a double, which again, here's the thing. Here's what DEI has proven with businesses is that the quality of businesses, like from what I've seen, has shut down, like has gone down. Google shut down their DEI department, whatever it is.
I think Microsoft did, yeah.
Microsoft, yeah, that's what it was. So it's like, and to Patrick Bet-David's point here that I heard him say earlier was that, and it's very true, is that bad ideas eventually get exposed. And it's just a matter of time. So if we're gonna keep going down that road, I mean, let's look at Kamala. Let's look at potentially, a DEI president and vice president. Let's look at the whole Trump assassination attempt thing. People, it's just people aren't up for the job. They're just not capable for the job, and I think that just puts us in harm's way more than we really need to, just to try to improve a point. And I just don't get the point. So, guys, any other thoughts on that?
Yeah, I wanted to circle back to the whole situation with Biden dropping out. Like they're gonna say, it started with COVID, but I think honestly I think I said it on the previous episode. Started way before that with him getting exposed at the debate. And it just brings me to the thought of, in a hypothetical world, had he not agreed to the debate, he did not debate Trump, we could still be in a world where the media and the Democrats are still pretending all is well, he's mentally competent, all these things are fine, stop gaslighting, stop pretending, or stop trying to think
I'll do you one better. Do you think that Biden will still be running if Trump got assassinated?
Well, no, because they would inflict one of the what is it in the Constitution that says if it's act of war on the country,
martial law.
It'll cease elections.
Yeah.
Really?
And he would just skip to the next term.
Yeah.
So
Martial law, yeah, thank you.
So it
Ken.
would just skip
Yeah.
up to the next term.
It would cancel the elections.
So martial law, let's see.
Yep.
Martial law involves the temporary substitution of military authority for civilian rule and is usually involved in the time of war, rebellion, or natural disaster. When martial law is in effect, the military commander of an area or country has unlimited authority to make and enforce laws. Yep. So you're saying that the election would immediately just essentially be canceled?
Yeah, it'd be over.
Yeah, it'd be over. And at that point, they talk about this like Trump's a dictator, Trump's a fascist. That's exactly what happened in 1938 and 1937 timeframe.
Okay.
And that was how Hitler, as the chancellor, rose to power and took over Germany. And then he moved into Poland in 1939.
That way.
Yeah. So it
That's
was
interesting. It's
martial
funny
law.
that you bring up Hitler because that's something he's getting compared to a lot recently. Trump?
Yeah, I don't see the comparison. I don't. I mean, I see the nationalism, and I respect it. I mean, for example, Lululemon and Team Canada. Massive nationalism there. I might live in America. I identify as American. My family originates from Canada and England, and so I've purchased a lot of the Team Canada stuff because I want to represent my bloodline, my heritage, right?
Absolutely. I mean, but even when you come to this country, part of, integrating yourself into a country is kind of leaving a little bit of yourself behind to become part of that whole.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's what essentially melting pots are,
Yeah.
So, okay. So, and then you said something so martial law, because that's another thing I've been hearing around that, what if Biden, what if Trump got killed and all that stuff like that, would have been like an easy win for Biden. So if you're saying that, wouldn't that just been one way for Biden to stay in office?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Essentially, yeah, because if the military leader is running something and they have supreme power, I mean, with the money and the backing of the cult of the Democratic Party, I mean,
I just find the sequence of the timing of everything.
it's very convenient.
Is that Trump, the assassination attempt happens, and Biden all of a sudden gets COVID. Then, like within literally only a couple days, he drops out, and then Harris is endorsed. Like,
it's like everything was already in motion. Trump didn't die, and they're like, well, this has already been in motion, so.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know. Everything's a conspiracy until it's proven true, right?
Okay, Joe Rogan.
Is that what he say that?
No, he's like half of his conspiracy
Oh my God,
theories have come true.
This is a nut job. I love him.
It's wild.
So, but speaking of the Trump assassination, the Secret Service Director Kimberly is a Cheadle. Kimberly
R.I.P.
Cheadle resigns after Congress hearing.
Yep.
So the Democrats and the Republicans were both telling her to resign.
Yeah.
And that even if she didn't resign, the president should fire her immediately.
Yeah.
This is after the hearing. She was called an absolute failure. When your job is solely to protect the president and then you do as poor of a job as they did this time around, it's like, what do you, and I guess I think she was in her role for like almost 30 something years. And, I think just on the second day of the hearing, she did her resignation.
Yeah.
So here we are. She resigns, and then even now, more things. Well, before I even go further than that, what do you guys thoughts on the whole resignation thing with her?
I mean, it was coming one way or another.
Someone had to be held accountable.
Yeah, for such a mishap and failure that was. I feel like you really had to have somebody fortunately lose their job, and she was the one. I mean, she's, like you said, with leadership, it falls back on leadership, and she's the head of the Secret Service. So, see ya.
Well, it's crazy to think that Robert F. Kennedy, who's running as an independent, has been fighting for Secret Service protection.
It took this.
They've been denying him it because you're an independent, you don't get it.
Yeah.
And then there's an assassination attempt on Trump, and they're like, maybe you should have it.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing is that apparently some of the detail in that day wasn't even actually full-on Secret Service. They were just hired from another agency.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yep.
So it's we're understaffed here. We had the conversation already about how this could risk future rallies, especially outdoor ones. But, even more stuff is coming out. Like, one of the things she said in the hearing was that one of the things that Kimberly said was that there's no recordings. There was no recordings by her team at the event. Now, I know the FBI was involved too, but literally just today, a video came out of us. I want to say it was the FBI and Secret Service having a whole conversation right next to the dead body. So it's like, it makes you...
Yeah.
Like nothing is being consistent here.
Yeah.
And that there's potentially a second shooter right not too far from the first shooter on top of the water tower. So, it's only been what, a week or two?
It's been a little over a week. It happened the 13th.
So it hasn't even been, it's only been 11 days.
Yeah.
It's only been 11 days and more things are coming out. When JFK was assassinated, things came out weeks, months, and even years after the fact.
Yeah.
So who knows what's going to come out a month from now or 2 months from now. Right. And I guess people are now jumping ship, because either they don't want to pay the consequences or they don't want to be involved in it anymore.
Yep.
So who's to say? I mean, look, some of the things that are going around with that whole situation is that the kid, what was his name again? Hold on, what was his name again? I forget already. So. Thomas Crooks.
Yep.
Yeah, Thomas Crooks. Apparently he was able to fly a drone either whether it was the day before or the day of. Regardless, how is that even possible that a kid is able to do that? And look, when I started hearing things like, he was walking around with a rangefinder. He was freely walking around the area where he was going to shoot from in the open, a big-ass ladder. He gets up on there, open as day. They try to notify the authorities. No one listens. And things start coming out like, his body didn't even move when he shot off the rifle. So, when you shoot a rifle, you're going to get some kickback. And it just makes you wonder, was this guy a decoy the entire time?
Yeah.
While you see in Zoom videos now of someone, whether it's real or not, it hasn't been confirmed yet, but videos of this one of a person on top of this tower that almost look like they have tactical gear on and a huge freaking rifle on them.
Yep.
So it really makes you wonder, and I'm really curious to see what's to come a few months from now with this whole situation. What are your guys' thoughts? Is it really out of the range
was the guy in the water tower not Secret Service? Was he just another Secret Service
it was
protection?
completely out of
That's
their
also a
range.
good point.
Yeah.
Because at that point it would have been completely out of their range. They said the first shooter was out of their range.
Yeah, it was
so that
150
guy,
yards.
yeah, 150 yards. So they're saying if that's out of the range, imagine what, and that was even further back. That would totally been outside of the range. I mean, they're bitching about some sort of fucking slant on the roof.
Yeah.
Come on, like it's just. The excuses are getting worse and worse, and more things are coming out, and it's just getting an even worse look for the Secret Service. So even now that Robert has it, it's like
Well, right, but the water tower. I mean, look at the way the shots went, where they went, who died. The water tower, based on its location, there's no way that the people who were hit and injured and even died would have had that happen had it been coming from the water tower.
Well, you also you look at the video of Trump turning his head.
Oh, it was
Trump turning his head. It's literally that's
split seconds.
If you don't believe in miracles, I don't know how you don't believe in miracles after that.
That's a god thing.
Literally a
100%.
split second, boom, saved his life.
Right.
And I don't even know if somewhere out there has been, what position he turned his head, but the angle from where the shooter is and the angle from where the tower is not too far from each other.
Yeah.
It's not too far from each other. And I really, I don't know because I wasn't in it. I definitely wasn't a part of it. But, it's just, is anything really here far-fetched?
It sounds. I hate to build onto it, but that sounds like something that somebody who was a part of it would say. I don't know. I don't know.
God damn it, man. Well, you guys don't hear about
I
me
mean,
tomorrow.
he shot 8 shots in 6 seconds. Like, I mean, the guy Crooks has a history of being a gunman.
Yeah.
He has a history of, owning and using and NRAs and stuff. So to fire 8 rounds in 6 seconds, like, I'm a pretty good shot.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that supposed to be like pretty impressive?
That's
8 rounds in 6 seconds.
That's pretty impressive.
So
like I can.
Well, some of that is gonna be the Secret Service.
I mean, I'll go get my AR. We can try.
see, we're just walking ourselves into
We can just pump. Joe Biden said, if someone comes to your house and you don't know them, just pump 2 shotgun shells in the sky and they'll leave. And you can find that video.
That's actually pretty awesome. I gotta give him credit. If that's real, that's pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, he said just grab 2 shotgun shells, blast one in the air, and load the second one. They'll probably walk away.
That's actually fucking awesome.
I'm about to say,
not
if
even gonna
shoot
lie.
it up in my roof. I was gonna pay for my insurance.
That's fucking awesome.
No,
Yeah.
no, just walk outside, boom.
Oh
Hi.
man.
Don't get him away. I mean, it'll work.
Yeah.
But my question would be, like, do you think you acted alone?
Nah, there's no way,
shooter?
dude. He's 20
Yeah.
years old. He's 20 years old. You don't fly a drone. You don't get all that ammo. You don't set yourself up like that just on yourself. You don't.
Well, he's a registered Republican as well. So who's funding it?
He's a
Who funded his ammunition? Who funded his guns? Who funded his drones? Who gave him the inside details? Was it all part of the plan that was like, here's the conspiracy theories coming out? Was it all part of the plan that was already in motion? Trump is dead. Okay, Biden drops out. Kamala's now president. Martial law kicks in. Boom. Mm-hmm. Trump didn't die. Oopsies. Okay, Biden drops out. I guess he has COVID. And Kamala's now president.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the other thing that came out with that too
And then
was
$91 million out of nowhere. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And the other thing too with what Biden called in to Kamala, she was doing like a press release or something like that.
Yeah.
And it sounded like I'm sorry.
She said
but-
recording, right?
Yeah, she was. She was like, "Oh, I knew you were still on the call." I'm like, "Excuse me, but bro, that's the most coherent I've heard Joe Biden in a long time.
Yep.
Like even before he went into office, like
Yep.
there was just no way that was with what AI is able to do today. I mean, you guys saw that one video I put together.
Yep.
The one video I put together where Trump and Biden are supposedly calling into the podcast and just like, giving like their root in or what. I don't know if you've seen that video, but look, I'm going to pull it up real quick.
I have not seen that video, but they called it to the podcast.
Yeah. Look, watch
That's
this.
so cool.
Well, not literally, but it was made by AI.
Don't ruin your own story with facts, all right?
I thought
Facts don't care.
Facts don't care. Facts don't care about your feelings, man. Here, look. Here, look. Ready? Watch this.
Hi, Emilio. This is Donald Trump. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know I've received word of your podcast, and you, without a doubt, have the best podcast for business in the state of Delaware. It's going to be huge, and I've seen a lot of podcasts, but yours is going to be huge, no doubt. Also, if you're ever down here in the great state of Florida, please feel free to reach out. We'd love for you to take a look at the beautiful Mar-a-Lago. We can grab lunch while you're here. Keep doing what you do, and let's make America great again.
I mean, that's just Trump, and that's AI.
And what did Biden say?
Tell me if you're not a couple vodka sodas and you don't think that shit's real. Other than the fact that, he's obviously not going to call into the EP podcast.
Hey, you don't know that.
You know?
You don't know that.
All right, and this is the Biden one. So, mind you, I worked at a country club. For 6 years, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I'm not going to say that, but I've shared a couple conversations with Biden, so we're not like this, but we've had a couple conversations.
They're boys.
No.
Hey, Emilio, it's Joe. It's been a while since I last saw you at the country club. I heard you dove into the world of news with the podcast. I think that raising the voice of Americans has never been more important to our democracy. Just remember
We're a
that
republic.
with great power comes great responsibility. I also heard that Trump made a call out to you earlier in the week. As the independent thinker and patriotic American you are, I trust that you will do your homework to best understand the importance of your vote this upcoming election. Let's continue to build back better.
So, I've actually played golf where Joe Biden plays golf. I've seen his locker. I've
Dude, smell like
seen.
shit.
I've seen.
God.
I've seen the.
Gotta ask
Secret,
you
I've seen the
questions.
Secret Service there. I've seen videos from my friends who golf there of Joe Biden golfing. Haven't seen him in a while though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back to the point what I was saying earlier was like I think it was more likely that was AI, especially after Kamala, almost choked up and said recording, versus
Right.
him during a being sick with COVID, supposedly recovering, not seeing him in public since like before that. You know, it being him especially that coherent. Like it just, I just don't think it was true. Even today when he was seen, and he just made his first public appearance today. He left Delaware. He was staying at Rehoboth. He was staying at his beach house in Rehoboth. He left Delaware, and he was making his way back to DC. And they took a video of him getting out of his car to the plane, and he even just in getting regular questions, he could barely process them, such as like, oh, like, how are you feeling? Or like, what do you think about Kamala? Like all that stuff like that. He could barely answer them. So after a few days break, you know, I just don't see it.
Have you seen the comparison pictures or videos that shows like Joe Biden at the start of Obama's campaign and then the end of Obama's administration, and then it's the start of Joe Biden's administration, and then it's now?
Yeah.
And just
it's
how much he's just deteriorated, which is honestly kind of sad.
But
that
looks like it's a completely different person now.
Yeah.
I don't want to venture off into that, but
doppelganger.
And even another thing that was going around was that in the appearances he was making, they were conspiring that it wasn't him. Like they were comparing like the tone of his face, the tone of his neck. You know, like one thing was off and the other one wasn't. Apparently, there's a thing in the White House. I forget what department it is. But they have some sort of thing where they're able to really almost duplicate a president's appearance in the case of they're going to be in a really high emergency place, so they just do that instead. There's a whole video of it out there. I forget exactly what it is, but it's like a thing. It's like a thing.
I mean, that could be a dude in a mask. I don't want to float that out there, but I mean that. Did he say anything when he made his like little grand return, or like that could easily be a guy in a mask? I don't know.
I'm just saying, with everything that's going around,
CIA mask technology.
Yeah,
a widely circulated video on X, Twitter,
and
suggests that he's being impersonated.
So, I mean,
and if you've seen like movies and like behind the scenes, like the special effects, you can really see how detailed some of these masks can be.
That's good.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's the video right there. That's the video right
good.
there.
Scary ass one.
Full screen that.
Oh man! Hold up. Here. So here, we'll start this over again. This is like actually scary because that's who I remember.
Yeah, that's the real Biden, and that's my god,
who?
So
That's
weird. That is creepy.
The chin's different, and that is not something you can change.
Even the fucking signatures.
Look at the eyebrows, and the construction of the T-zone.
Creepy.
Yeah,
and I remember. Shout out, Dad, love you, man. He would see these videos like years ago, like 2021, 2022. And I just thought, this is the fucking craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. No way this is real. But.
And his entire signature changes?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Very fascinating.
Then again, my grandmother, R.I.P., she died last year. When I was a wee lad, and I remember her signatures were beautiful cursive.
Yeah.
Probably 2 to 5 years before she passed away, chicken scratch.
Yeah.
It was there. Like when she would write my birthday cards. It was there. But like noticeably different.
Yeah.
So could it just be his degeneration?
Could be.
It could be. It could be, but
bone structure?
The technology is there.
Bone structure?
But also the technology is there.
That's true. The mask technology is there.
Creepy, man. That's
those
creepy.
Those 3-letter agencies, man. Little SPY.
It's gonna be hard sleeping at night after seeing that crap.
Yeah.
That's why I got a gun in the car.
Yeah. Okay. So, no, I believe that you have a gun in the car.
Yeah. 45 ACP, baby.
Oh my jeez. Yeah. No, Ian one day pulled up to the house all of a sudden, and I'm like, he's setting up, helping set up, and all of a sudden I see mind you, I've never dealt with a gun. I've never shot one. So all of a sudden I see this dude in my house with a fucking whole strap. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, at least give us a heads up next time. You know?
I'll have to take you shooting. We'll have to go.
No, bro, you've been saying that so fucking long.
Let's go tomorrow.
You've been saying
No, I can't. I actually can't go tomorrow.
Let's go this weekend. I'm not even gonna be in the state.
Yeah. You're not?
No.
Where you going?
Place.
Huh?
Place.
Okay,
You're not gonna be in the state.
Okay,
I thought you guys were trying to go to Chesapeake City this weekend.
No, that's this week. That's this weekend.
Let's go the 2nd of August.
Okay. Yeah, we'll revisit that tomorrow. I don't know what I got going on the 2nd of August. So it's not out of the realm of possibilities.
Yeah.
I don't think that their call was legit.
Yeah,
I think there was AI involved in that.
Yeah.
I think that it's extremely odd that, we completely... But mind you, it's one thing where, he drops out and he goes home to recover. But then you look at all the flight logs and all the information that went around about Biden as it was happening, almost making it seem like he was in the middle of dying.
Flags were at half-mast, I think, at least at the White House or the Capitol building. Like, you only do that for a leader, I believe.
Yeah, so it's like... it makes you wonder, like, especially when all these... it's the government. It's not like the government always tells us the truth.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's not no innocent person. It's just not out of the realm of possibilities.
Yeah.
I know Arthur would say I'm probably delusional right now.
Yeah,
but
the only person that lies in the government is Trump.
See,
Hey! Trump told 30 lies. Biden only told 8.
Well, Arthur, when you come back, you can call these guys out and you could tell them to shut up. Arthur right now is on leave. We haven't seen of him since he took a break. But we had a great call with him the other day. We weren't sure if it was AI or not. No, but
Hit us up in the comments if you think it was AI or not.
Yeah. Do you guys think that the Kamala thing was Kamala AI? I mean, Kamala, was Biden AI? Was the Biden call AI or not? What do you guys think? I think it was. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, you don't. He was too good.
They were on
Yeah.
Zoom,
He was
by the
too
way.
good.
And more can hear it than I do, and it's like, whoa, this guy, whoa.
Yeah, where'd he come from? Yeah. Like, how do you go from the worst, like, abysmal performance in a debate, deteriorating health, yada yada yada? You get COVID, and then you're like, oh, hey guys,
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good. You just know. You don't make that jump.
So another thing that before we move on from the assassination or anything that's been going on politics-wise, anything else you guys want to talk about on that?
No, send it.
Okay.
Full send.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so another rumor that went around was that the 39th president of the United States, Jimmy Carter, had passed away. I think this went around, last Friday, and it spread like wildfire. The internet was like, and mind you, I didn't see much of it, but then when I did start to see it, it was like spreading everywhere. It came out, I think, either over the weekend or today, that it was completely BS. Like, when you Googled him, it literally said from his date of birth to his date of death for a while, and then that changed. So I don't know what caused that, but that's something that happened over the time. Let's see if we find anything on it. Jimmy Carter
Spreads like wildfire on X. Yeah, I actually did not see this.
I saw it, and if you click on like subtext of like a photo, like sometimes like they'll be in like the bottom left photo or thing to click on it in the photo, and it said this is clearly fake. All this stuff, like this is just raising awareness about how easy it is to spread false information.
Right. So it said, this is from, how do you say this again? Routers, whatever. Reuters, or Routers, whatever it is. A fabricated screenshot of a letter. Well, okay, what kind of words are they using? Purportedly? Is it supposed to be purposely?
No, purportedly, that's a word.
That's a word? Okay, so a fabricated screenshot of a letter purportedly from the office of the former U.S. President Jimmy Carter surfaced online saying that Carter had passed away on July 23rd, 2024. That was yesterday. The letter, which sparked viral rumors of Carter's death, is a fake, the creator of the Post told Reuters. A spokesperson for the Carter Center also said about the letter being shared online Tuesday, this is false, so today, this is false. There has been no announcement or change. I don't know what triggered this.
Well, according to Fox 5, and I know Fox is very rightly wing, whatever, but they were saying that how bad is your ratings, how bad is your views, how bad is your comments, that you need to fabricate deaths of a president. Now, when a president dies, there are some very specific procedures that take place in terms of how it's announced, how it's released, what happens with the family, right? Because when a president is a president, you hold that salary for your life, right? It's almost like an annuity. And so...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
So Obama's still getting it. Both Bushes are still getting their $400,000 or whatever it is, salary. Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. I did not know that. Anything else on that?
I mean, I just said, like, he was a really good target for this because, I mean, he's not only 99, but there's been, news with it. Yeah, health concerns in the past year or so. If you were to choose one of the living presidents, I mean, there's only like 4 or 5. He would be, the perfect one to make this rumor about because, he's 99. It wasn't like it wasn't like shocking. God forbid, one of the other presidents would be like, whoa, like that's huge news. It'd be like, Jimmy Carter passed away, rest in peace, but he was 99. Like, he lived a great life. It's like,
yeah.
So when I first saw it, I half believed it, but then I actually scrolled because I saw I didn't see the letter. I saw a post on X, with his photo saying that he passed away. I was like, is this real? And
yeah.
I was like, nah, that's bullshit.
Yeah. So, guys, I believe those were all the topics. Unless you guys have anything else.
I did, but I forgot. It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me.
Yeah, so are we good to close out?
I think so. Follow us, like, comment, subscribe. Hit up the Young Republicans as well, _ Delaware _ YR on Instagram. So follow us for some upcoming events.
What's your personal Instagram again?
Me, it's Ian Chinnery _ FCA.
Ken?
American Communist Party? No, I'm joking. Ken
Okay, Dr. Oppenheimer.
Ken _ Friday. It's Friday without the A.
Friday without the A. I like that because
turning up on a
Ken
Friday. And
brings up
what's
the
yours again, Emilio?
Emilio D. Pastor. D as in David. Right between the and I'm not trying to say
his
Emilio
middle name is not David,
Pastor. It's just my middle name, my middle initial. But yeah, guys, like Ian said, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any more episodes to come in the future. And till the next episode, bye bye. What does that mean?
What does that mean?